What's going on, gang? So it has been some time. A lot of life has been lived, but I am out here in UAE right now, and um, Captain Share is just about built. We've got kind of two versions of it. One's a multi-tenant version, meaning multiple organizations can sign up, and this is a single-tenant version, meaning this is kind of just for our company for the Winter Light Boats or Winter Light Show. So um, yeah, kind of cool. But I'm gonna go ahead and kind of demo some of the features and what it is. Basically, the biggest thing for the Winter Light Show, just to give context of the problem that it is it's a really high volume game, and there's a lot of captains and a lot of boats going in and out constantly. I think last light show, the company owner who runs this, not to disclose numbers, but just to give an idea of volume, I think he did 26,000 tickets. So 26,000 people in and out. All compressed within maybe a month or so. Maybe it's like 6 weeks, um, but it's quite a voluminous game, and so we've got a rough Captain Share build that's just curated for this. So I'm going to dive into it some. Um, First of all, to talk about it, we have a main thing, which is the schedule. The schedule has a few fun buttons. One of my co-founders, he requested a few specific features that I think I've got in there. And then we've got captains, boats, and trips. So the schedule is the accumulation of these things, and then there's a few other bits here. Bits and bops is what one of my friends here says. She says in here out in Dubai, she's a dinghy sailing race coach actually. So she's always like bits and bops. But there's other bits and bops here. There's lake info about Lake Austin and how it's 21 miles in length and its max depth, and a few other bits and bops and fun things, and a GPS um, thing, so people can see, um, just a marine map of Lake Austin and the light show. The boaters can kind of navigate and talk about where they're at maybe, and things like that. So stuff like that's just tucked into this app as well with the um, notable celebrities on the lake and fun stories and things like that. There's an emergency list of contacts. Obviously, no contact info is here outside of actual emergency um, numbers here. Systems health, we can check. How is the system as a whole? You can see is doing okay. It's doing solid. We have settings and help, just quick help guide on how some of these things work and how these features work. Also in the search, I can also look how to do stuff too, which is quite cool. Or if there's anything else, any data I want to look for, it's all accessible through the search command here. So if I want to look for a captain or a boat, I can just Google it all right here. So kind of cool stuff. Again, systems helps, just kind of a software thing. And then I also added the business logic health too, so you can see how the actual functionality of you using the application, or not you guys, but how the owner's using the application. Um, so it's kind of special. It's kind of cool to see data integrity. Let me clear the old data real quick, and let's see if that cleans it up. Beautiful. Okay, but all the endpoints seem to be working. Most configuration, nothing crazy. Cool. And then settings here. If we go to the trips, I added just generic settings where I can change things to ISO format or 12-hour format. But these are all kind of just boring stuff. I really want to get into the 2 or 3 fun features, which is going to be the auto scheduling, going to be the image recognition, the AI that's going to parse data and put it onto trips, and then the captain view, the captain portal. So let me go to Fair Harbor real quick and see if I can get some trip data just from our dashboard real quick. So I've made this fake trip here, just to demonstrate how I can use this. I can screenshot, this trip. That's all I need, and I can go ahead and go to my trips tab here, and I can import trips. I can upload a screenshot. I'll upload the very screenshot I just took, and it should parse the actual data from the screenshot. So it'll get the date, it'll get the duration, it'll get extra notes too. Might pull down my name and stash it in the notes section for us. But the date, start time, and duration are going to be the most important bits. So let's just go ahead and wait for that for a moment. There it goes. It pops right up. So it says extracted one trip, and let me just verify all the data. So it's an ISO format. So October 20th starts at 11 a.m. and it's a 3-hour trip. And here's the contact, I suppose. But yeah, we can verify that is the correct data. It says Monday, October 20th, so 10/20, 2025, 11 a.m., and it is a 3-hour charter. So it got all that nailed down right. So I'll go ahead and import the trip. It'll add it to this list of trips. Now, the trips just exist here. They're not assigned quite yet, right? So that trip, if we look at it, October 20th, here it is. I can move my face and I can edit it. I can go ahead and assign, I can't do that here actually, forgive me. But if I go to the schedule, I can see that trip for tomorrow, the one that we just imported, and I can edit it. I can put a captain on it. I can put a boat to it, and then the trip will effectively be scheduled. So let's talk about first loading those things up. I do need a boat, so I've added some here. I've pre-added them. They're very easy to add. All I need to do is just say add, and then add the name of the vessel that the team knows about. So there's loads of boat names, but one of them is Rose. The other, there's loads of them, but I think it's a double-decker boat, and I can add notes to it, but I'll just add it here. Captains, looks like, I'm already here, Captain Ryan. Let me just make sure my password is available here. So I'll add a generic password, make sure it's updated. Obviously it says, hey, you should probably change that password. And so I've got the important bits here, the data needed to effectively make a schedule. So I've got a few views too. I can check trips out in list view or calendar or cards, and I can check them today, next 7 days. There's that trip that we imported. I could do the next 30 days, or I can do a custom range. But the fun bit here is I've got this auto scheduling functionality. The auto scheduling functionality is where I can click one button, and effectively, if the availability is there, the algorithm's going to do as best that it can, but it's going to put as many trips to the boats and to the captains that are available. And it's going to do that at the click of a button. So it makes it really easy. So I'll go ahead and auto schedule the range that I've selected here. It's not going to overschedule, so there's trips way out in the distance, but these are just the trips over the next 7 days. And I can go ahead and auto select or auto schedule, and you can see that it's assigned all of these to read. It's chosen a boat, and effectively it should work as expected. And it didn't assign to the one that's way out there. We didn't ask for that date range. We only asked for the next 7 days. And I can look at it in the list, and maybe Reed's running it, but I said, you know what, I actually want to run that trip, so I'll save the assignment. And now I'm now the updated captain for this trip. So if I now log out, and I can log in as Captain Ryan, and let me put in my password, and it should populate this trip data on my captain dashboard. So here it is. You can see it here, and obviously I can identify it here, and then I can go to the list view and see, I'm scheduled at 11 a.m. tomorrow on October 20th. And of course I can always change the format or the dating, how it looks, but it's going to be tomorrow, October 20th. And and then I can also see all the trips within this date range, or just my trips. So So to keep things easy, and then as well, the captains do have information of the lake, and they do have emergency information too, their team's directory, and then obviously any emergency numbers associated to the application. So, yeah, cabin share, folks, we finally got her done. Finally got her done.